Well, it's very nice to be back. Welcome to Tuesday night here at Reach On Air.
Chris Reardon, Tuesday night, Reach On Air.
How lovely to be... And here we are, back from the dead, boys and girls. Back from the dead. Oh, I was ill, dear. Oh, gosh. The illness started not last Thursday, the Thursday before, and I became extremely tired and lethargic. And this went on till sort of the Wednesday, when it kind of I got my energy back on Wednesday, but it left and it changed to a cough. But I mean that's nearly under control. You might hear me cough my guts up now and again, but not to worry about that. Anyway, how are you today? I've had a busy day here. I didn't manage to get around to doing my usual radio show this morning, the music and chat one that we do every morning between 9 and 10 o'clock on Reach On Air, because I was due to have the solar panel people round. I'm having some solar panels put up on the other side of the roof. I've already got some on the west side, which have been up there now for 14 years, and I've been very happy with those. And I've had some, or having some put up on the east side. So I cancelled the show this morning because the electrician was due to come, and I thought he's probably going to turn all the power off at some point. Don't know when. Do you know what I mean? And so that was that. And then last night, about 7 o'clock, I looked on my email, and it was an email from the people saying, unfortunately, the electrician can't make it tomorrow morning. It's some sort of personal issue. However, the roofer will be there. So I actually could have done that show this morning, but by 7 o'clock last night, it's too late. I'd cancelled. Someone else had grabbed the slot, understandably. And so I didn't have much to do this morning. The roofer came around about 9:30, 9:45, and he's put the I think it's 5 or 6 solar panels up on the east side of the roof, brought all the wires through and all that, and amazed me. Well, I tell you what amazed me. He was on his own. He was on his own and no scaffolding. He literally carried these blooming things up on his back on the roof, right? Done his roof work with all sorts of grinding noises and things going on there, drilling noises and what have you going up there. And he did it completely on his own, which surprised me. I made him a couple of cups of tea. So if he got here about 9:30, he was finished by about 12:30. Unfortunately, the weather held off. It was actually not bad at all, the weather today. It was a little bit of drizzling earlier on, but he stayed up there. It wasn't too bad at all. You couldn't say it was raining. And he completed his tasks, and a very pleasant man, actually. What surprised me is that the amount of equipment that I've got sitting in the kitchen at the moment. There's a great big battery, right? Now, this battery, because I'm having a battery added to it as well. You can have solar panels. These days, you can have a battery as well. Now, when I had the other panels put up years ago, I didn't have a battery. There were no batteries then. Okay, it's just how it was. Now there is. So this new battery connects. Let me just turn this down a bit because I'm echoing a bit. There we go. The new battery connects to both lots of solar panels, the old ones and the new ones, although they have to change the old inverter for some reason. Right? And both sides of it charge the battery. So when the sun's not out or at night time, you draw on the battery. It's all very, very clever. The only thing is this battery, my God. You know, when the bloke bought it, because they delivered the stuff yesterday, bloke bought it on a pallet, right? And there's all these different boxes on the pallet. That's at the bottom. He said, I'll give you a hand with that one. I said, I'm sure it'll be all right. He said, I don't think so, mate. Well, I tried to lift this thing up. No, I don't think so. What do you think that weighs? Big battery, 54 kilos. 54 kilos. I said, well, they're not putting that in the loft, are they? Yeah. Well, I hope they don't put it over my bed, you know, because if that comes through the bleeding ceiling, I've had it, mate. Awful. Anyway, so apparently that goes up in the loft as well, which surprised me. I thought that would have had to gone up floor level or whatever. But there you go. So the roof bit's done, and the electrician comes on Monday to do some other little bits and pieces there. And then we'll be all hunky-dory, and it'll be very interesting to see what my electricity bill comes down to then. At the moment, it's running at about anywhere between £80 and £110 a month for electricity. It would be a lot more if I didn't have the solar panels on the other side, I'm sure. So it'd be very, very interesting to see what this brings it down to. All right, and fingers crossed there. Well, yes, if you'd like to join in this evening at any point, you can do so, my darlings. You can send us a message on the ever wonderful Reach on Air message system, boys and girls, which is easy to operate if you're listening on Reach on Air on a smart speaker. Either send us a message on the Reach on Air message system, or if you've not got access to a keyboard, you can text us a message as well. I'll give you the text number in a moment. If you're watching on YouTube, you can use the YouTube chat box there, or TikTok, use the TikTok chat there. Now, sometimes, just to let you know, we get a lot of messages, and it might take me a while to get around to you. In the YouTube box, as always, there are also people talking to each other, and sometimes you're going to get missed your messages because you're talking to each other, in which case the best way to do it is to text your number to me, text your message to me. Are you ready for the text number? Pen's ready, here it comes.
You can send Chris a text message right now on 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337.
Okay, that's the text number. TikTok messages, anything like that. Let's just say hello to some of you on TikTok this evening. Good evening to Dino. Evening to you, Dino. Welcome along. We're back using the phone tonight because my camera system wasn't working for TikTok. I don't know why. Good evening to Gay Kyle. Yes, it was Straight Carl, which quickly became Bi Carl, and now it's Gay Carl. So welcome to the fraternity, Mr. Red Kite. Carl, how are you tonight? Welcome to the twilight world of the homosexual, where the party never ends. Believe me, all these straight people watching tonight, my darling, or listening to the show tonight, believe me, their party ends at sort of around about 21. It's all over by then for them, you know. In the gay world, it just goes on and on. So you're very lucky and you're very welcome along, okay? Hello to Nick Reels this evening. Good evening to you. Evening to Dan Woodhouse. Now, Dan, for some bizarre reason, sent me this message on Facebook this evening. And the message says, something for the show tonight. Right, I saw that flash up, you know, because when you get a Facebook message, you only see the little top bit of it. I thought, oh, that'd be interesting. He sent me a news story, something to talk about. No, it's a picture of his dinner. Now, I'm not quite sure how that fits in tonight, Dan. You've just sent me, it says, something for the show tonight, Chris, and then you send me a picture of your dinner, which is a baba ganoush, which I don't know, it looks like some sort of shepherd's pie or something like that sort of thing, is it? I mean, what is that? I have not... I mean, it's a far cry from the battered sausage and chips I had last night. Oh, by the way, battered sausage lovers, vegan battered sausage lovers, will be very pleased to know that Aldi has a new stock of vegan battered sausages in. Yes, please, mummy. Very, very delicious. They are so nice. And they go in my air fryer that my sister kindly bought us for Christmas last year, which I'm just using. I think the oven has only ever been on once since Christmas, and that was tonight because I popped over to Co-op to get one of their posh pizzas, which I wouldn't normally buy at £6.75 they want for one of those now. Right, special offer, gring, £5. Thank you very much. So with the extra money I saved, I bought some butter. Happy days. We don't like to spend the money. Same as you, Dino. I'm sure I'm definitely the wrong religion, Dino. I don't like to spend my money, love. By the way, the bit of the illness I had has left me with a filthy, dirty laugh, which you will hear occasionally while the show is on tonight, because it's always better to laugh. It's always better to laugh. Don't be miserable. Don't be miserable. Like Nick Reels here, who wants a row. Why would you want to have a row, Nick? Ring up LBC. They're always happy to row with you. Politics all the time. How boring has that become? That station, jeez. Anyway, there we are. So Dan's having some baganoush for dinner tonight. Perhaps he'll ring up and tell us about it a little bit later on when we open the phone lines. Incidentally, there is a new phone number jingle, which you will love at enormous expense to myself and not the management of Reach on Air. I have purchased a phone-in jingle, which some of you have already heard. I know that, all right? Evening to Vera, who sent me something. I'm not quite sure what that is. Is it a spinning top or something, Vera? I don't know what that is. So hello to you, my darling. Okay. DJ George Bond is there. Evening, George. Thank you to Paul and Lou, who say good morning, Chris. Have you checked your clock, dear? Oh, don't. Is that clock right today? People do like to point out if the clock's wrong, don't they? It's evening now, Paul and Lou. It's evening now, my love. So hello to you. And it's nice to be on time tonight. Is there a prize? There's never a prize. Is it a rugby ball? It don't look... Oh, I suppose it is. It looks more like a satellite dish than a rugby ball, to be honest. Hello to Sparky Mark this evening. On the text service, Maureen's announced. Good evening to Maureen, who says, evening, Chris. Nice to see you back again. Sorry you've been unwell. Yeah, it was a bit unpleasant, really, to be honest, Maureen. I actually don't go sick unless there's something really wrong, as you know. DJ Chris, of course, DJ Chris filled in for me Friday and Saturday. I didn't actually ring him until... I think I rang him on the Thursday night, actually. Did I ring him on the Thursday night or the Friday to fill in for me on Friday and Saturday? But the week before, it had already started. I don't know if you noticed that I was a little bit lethargic, wandering around on the stage, and I was so tired. But that was the only real part of the illness that was happening at that point. There wasn't any cough or anything like that at that point. So it's a bit odd, really. Don't forget, again, you can send a message on the Reach On Air message system if you want to contact us like that, my darlings. Okay. Is that everyone? Have we said hello to everyone tonight before we open the phone line? Let's do the YouTube. Gary Ross is there. Evening, Gary. Evening, Mandy Davenport. Evening to you. Weird City, you got the stuffed crust Goodfellas, didn't you? Tomato crust or cheese? No, I didn't. I didn't, Andy. No, I didn't, actually. No, there's these pizzas they do in the Co-op. They're quite a thin crust. And mozzarella... I can't remember what they're called now. I should have brought the label up to show you, wouldn't it? No, not the stuffed crust ones. These are kind of in the fresh section. What do you call that? You know, the chiller cabinet. These are in the chiller cabinet. And it's not the one I would normally have. They actually don't do the stuffed crust ones in there. And it's not... You said Goodfellows. I don't think it's Goodfellows, actually, the ones that I have. But I have the stuffed crust tomato sauce one. There's only one you can get. But it might be Goodfellows. I'm not sure now. But yeah, tomato crust is the one I like. The cheese one, I find a bit too much because you've already got cheese on the first part of your pizza, haven't you? You know. And actually, talking of food and what have you, I came across this story in the Sun. Now, this doesn't surprise me. Have you ever been in a violent restaurant? And I don't mean somewhere like Karen's. I don't know if you've heard about Karen's, but it's this place. I think it's in Blackpool or Northampton, somewhere up there. And the idea of the restaurant is that from the moment you walk in, you are treated badly. And you have the menus thrown at you. And you are sworn at. And if you're vegetarian, don't even bother because they slate you to the rest of the restaurant over a microphone if you're vegetarian or vegan. And it looks like great fun to be there, actually. I'm not talking about something like Karen. Seriously, have you been in a restaurant or a fast food place, perhaps, where you've seen trouble in there? I've seen it myself. There was a Kentucky Fried Chicken place next to this pub I worked at in Clapham for years. And it got to the point where they had... And it wasn't a massive restaurant. It got to the point where they had not one but two doormen on in there. I kid you not. There were two doormen who I got to know because I was in there all the time, you know. And I saw a few altercations with people and the doorman. But before the doormen were in there, it was awful. I remember being in there once and I was... a couple of people behind. I only ever went in there for ice cream. They used to do lovely ice cream in there, which I think they stopped doing at some point. And there's this lad at the front, you know, in the black puffer jacket, one of those sort. And he's got his meal, and he's like, I want more chips. I'm sorry, sir, that's a portion. Give me more chips. I want more chips. And the bloke says, no, you can't have any more chips. At which point, this lad, jumped over the counter and helped himself to chips. I mean, how dangerous is that? Well, with all that fat in there going on. And there was another occasion where someone was in there and they said, can I use your toilet? And of course they said no. I really need to use a toilet. And they said no. And he too jumped the counter. Literally jumped. And, they're not low, these counters. They're kind of at chest height. I mean, no way I could do it there. I certainly couldn't jump over to that horse thing that they had at school. I mean, how much did we all hate that, eh? Dear me. But there's a story here in The Sun. Have you ever experienced anything like this in a restaurant, I wonder? If so, you can call in and tell us about it after I've read you this story. The Sun, not loving it. UK's worst McDonald's is so rife with dangerous behaviour, it needs a bouncer. Yobs throw lit fireworks inside it. Well, I mean, we'll find out where this is in a minute, but it's not an unusual thing. Those of you that live in London, right, that know that a lot of the places inside McDonald's in London have bouncers, including restaurants, supermarkets. I mean, actually, even up here, we've got a bloke who seems to be looking at TV cameras all the time and sits at the front of the supermarket, because people nick stuff. People nick stuff, left, right and centre. I mean, stuff is walking out those doors ever since they invented the self-service checkout things. It's walking out. I know. I speak to people who work in supermarkets. And literally, if it's under 50 quid, they don't even bother calling the police. You just get barred from the shop and that's it. I mean, how they remember you, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you went in once and nicked something and went out again, didn't come back for 6 weeks, maybe they wouldn't remember you. But if you was like a serial killer, not a serial killer. If you was a serial nicker, you'd eventually get remembered, wouldn't you? Anyway, back to this story here. The UK's worst McDonald's is so dangerous it needs a bouncer. This place is in Liskeard, Merseyside, and it's been blighted by antisocial incidents over the past few years, including Yobs throwing a lit firework inside it. I'm sure it's not the only one. Well, we've heard about this many times. It's believed the attack was revenge by children who had been banned from the store. One mum who wished to remain anonymous said the intimidating behaviour seen at the restaurant was worrying. She took her son to McDonald's and she was shocked to see a police presence and lots of young kids hanging around outside. While I was there, I felt safe inside, but it was worrying to see a bouncer on the door and some of the kids starting deliberately pushing each other against the window, which could be seen as intimidating behaviour. I mean, it's just awful. Loads of antisocial behaviour happening at McDonald's. I happen to know the McDonald's in Brixton. Many times they've had incidents in Brixton. Many times in the Brixton McDonald's. Terrible, really, isn't it? Eh? Anyway, that's the McDonald's story. Perhaps you know of a little incident or something happening in your supermarket. And look at that! Before we've even opened up the line, Ray from Morrison's is calling. Good evening, Ray. How are you?
Good evening. Yes, I'm not too good, actually.
Oh, what have you got, mate?
Well, not ill or anything, no accidents again, but I just went out, to have an evening out. I put my card in the machine because in case the card machine wasn't working in the pub, I thought, Bob, I have some cash just as an emergency.
Right.
And the card got swallowed up.
Oh. Did you get the money out?
No, I phoned up the bank straight away and stopped it straight away.
Yes.
It just pissed me off. I have a night out my local LGBT group. I go to on a Tuesday when I'm working.
Do you know why it swallowed up your money or what? Your card? Do you know why it swallowed up?
Maybe someone put it. Maybe someone put it on the machine. I never noticed.
Okay, but I mean, do you know why the card was swallowed up? Did the bank tell you that?
No. They're looking into it, but I stopped it straight away. No money was taken out.
Good. Yeah, always best to do that. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ray. Does that mean you've got no money to spend, or can you use something else?
Well, I'll go to get cash out tomorrow, but I don't like carrying cash.
No.
I don't feel safe carrying cash.
Right. The only time I really carry cash if I'm going to the supermarket, and that's quite rare now that I have cash. I'm a bit cashless myself now. It took me years. I quite like to have a little bit of cash with us, but it's harder and harder to get any blooming cash. In actual fact, they struggle to pay me at the end of a night with cash now, and a couple of times at work, they've done a direct debit. Well, I don't know what it's called now, a bank transfer.
I know, bank transfer and all
But
that.
the trouble is, sometimes they forget it, right? So I might have worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday it's still not. And then you ring it, oh, sorry, they've forgotten. I'll do it now. Well, that's not good enough. I've done a bloody job. I want to be paid now. Thank you very much.
I mean, you work with the same venues every week, and they should know by now how much to pay you.
You would think that. I don't know why they can't set it up automatically or anything like that. But was that money for going out or what?
Yeah. I just like to have a backup because in case the machine's not working in the pub,
Yes.
I normally get cash back. I've done my shopping.
Right.
I got this week off. Done my shopping, and I forgot to get cash back.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd just like to have a bit of cash for emergencies.
Well, when you put you say you take your card and put it in a machine in the pub sometimes, do you?
Yeah, like.
But doesn't
yeah,
doesn't that cost you money to get it out?
No, it was just like an ATM.
Yeah. So if you're
Outside the bank.
using an ATM in a pub, doesn't that
No,
cost?
it was outside the proper bank.
Oh right, okay. Oh, I wouldn't be going.
No,
I don't go to those machines, mate, to get money out. If I really wanted money out, I would go into the bank. I ain't standing outside waiting for someone to bang me over the head and nick my 20 quid. Thank you very much, dear. And believe me, that's all I ever take out.
And you're saying about self-scan and all that just now.
Oh, just a minute. We've got a minor emergency. I haven't put my on-air light on. Just a moment. Look at that. Oh, why is that not working? Oh, it's not plugged in. Hang on. Sorry, very, very important. I haven't got my on-air light on. I can't believe no one's mentioned that. Oh, the little light's not on. I know better to say anything now, I think, to be honest. Carry on, Ray.
I mean,
Eh?
well, I work on self-scan a lot now.
Yes.
On Saturday, I had no staff. We had 2 people phoning sick. So I was running self-scan from about 8 o'clock, about 7 onwards.
Right.
And customers are swearing at me, threatening me, because I wouldn't let them have alcohol and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've been drinking. I do my job properly. I have a joke with people. Like, I haven't got ID. Like some of the managers who I know.
Yes.
We have a joke. But when it comes to people who look under 25, I do my job properly.
Right.
One man was swearing at me. He called me, dot, dot, dot. I'm not saying the words on air, but
Good boy,
you
yeah.
can imagine 2 letters of the alphabet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I said, she showed me one ID. I said, sorry, it's not good enough. I need proper ID, like driving licence. He swore at me, but another man.
Right.
I said to him politely, have you been drinking again, sir? He said, so what? When I started using the same word. Oh, I had 2, 3 drinks at home. In none of your business. I said, look, if you've been drinking, sir, I could tell. I've watched the way you walk from the alcohol section to the till. You can't walk in a straight line. It's none of your business. You don't know what you're doing.
Well, is there like someone you can call if you get someone a little bit? Do you have a doorman there at all or anything?
Yeah, we have security. I called security, top of my voice.
Right.
And they all came running over, backed me up.
Right. Do you have to shout, or is there like a button you can press or something?
I shout.
Right.
And there was a security. One of the managers, she's doing her shopping.
Yeah.
She's on the till next to it, like where I called her. She came running over, made sure it was okay till the security came.
Yes.
She chucked it. They got it. They bagged it for the store.
Right.
But another day, someone swore at me, said, "I'll see you later," holding 2 fingers up.
There's some very nasty people out there, Ray. Very, very
And I
nasty
feel
people.
scared. So Sunday, when I got in from work, I texted my manager privately and sent a private message on WhatsApp to tell her I don't want to be a self-scan by myself anymore. Being threatened, I don't feel safe.
Right. Yeah, you don't need that when you're at work, do you, my love?
No, I enjoy my job, as you know, but something like that, you just want to get out, you just feel like throw your neighbour to the floor, walking out, but I know I can't.
Ah, yeah, but it wasn't the fault of the supermarket, was it? It was just some nasty customer. There's so many people like that around, Ray. You've only got to turn on the news, you know.
I know.
But never mind, you got rid of him, and so you won. And you still got his money as well.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm meant to be meeting Nigel tomorrow for drinking Camden.
All right, yeah.
Hopefully, but nothing's confirmed. I'll confirm it tomorrow afternoon.
Well, it's about time you come back to my karaoke night. I haven't seen you for ages, my dear.
It's just getting tired. I don't mind the walk. I don't mind getting there, but it's a walk back to the station. It's a long walk.
It's not long. What you chatting about? About 5 minutes. The trouble is, you're not used to walking. That's what it is.
Yeah. Maybe you should meet me for drinking a coffee one afternoon.
I mean, what do you want me to do? I could lay on a. Do you want me to lay on a cab from the pub to the train station?
Maybe a little limousine, like a pink limousine with my name on it.
All right, Ray. Well, I hope you feel better, darling. I hope you get your card back soon, all right?
Yeah,
thanks for
hope to
calling
speak
in,
to you in the
Ray.
morning.
Bye-bye now. Cheerio. There's our Ray from Morrison's. He's a lovely chap. He's such a nice person. All right, boys and girls. I think what we'll do now is we'll play a little song for you, my darlings, okay?
I got an ache inside of me. It's a deep hole where I bleed. Oh, can I seal it? You're like an ocean without land. Not a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on it. So cold, yet warm. When you hold me, when you close. I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray. Hope is the last thing that I need. Wanna feel something that's real. With you I get that. You're like a lighthouse in a dream. Really distant but your beam is guiding me home. So cold yet warm. When you hold me, when you close. I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray.
Hit you with the text on XO. My ace boom boom, no flex, no. I won't gas you up like petrol. Just trying to take your way up where the jets go. But you didn't notice that. Keep clocking all my hours, I told you that. Work now, play later. But you keep going off on me. Keep texting like it's all on me. Yeah, you're all in my head like you're my forever, not for right now. My day one, you hold me down. Hard cold like the wintertime. Fight for your love, can't slow me down. Don't go far. I take me and you over living large. Know I'll be there wherever you are. Cause you shine bright like a shooting star.
Everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray.
Welcome back, boys and girls.
Reach on air.
Quincy's there, listening on Reach on Air. Good evening, Quincy, who says, here's a song you probably haven't heard for a while, Da 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 by Trio. Now, I'm assuming that's not Da Do Da Da, Da Do Da Da by the Police. Was that one by the Police? Da 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 by Trio. I don't recognise that one at all. Thank you very much, Quincy. I'm going to write that down and have a little listen after the show. Da 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 by Trio. I shall have a listen to that after the show. All right, boys and girls. At the moment, we're talking possibly about things you might have seen happening in a restaurant or perhaps a supermarket. Any violent occurrences going on there. They can be funny if you want to as well. All you got to do is call in now.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
Oh, you love it, don't you? That's the phone number this morning, boys and girls. 020-8144-34. Do you want to hear it again? Of course you do. Do you have a pen ready? Just in case you missed the number. Phone line is open now, okay, for chatting about anything you might have seen going on in a restaurant or a supermarket or something like that, or indeed anything else. You know, Dan Woodhouse. Dan Woodhouse sending me pictures of his dinner tonight. What's all that about, eh?
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
That's the number. Got to say good evening to my nephew, Gary. Evening, Gary. Head of YouTube and caravan maintenance and archery. The list just goes on, Gary, of all these things that you're in charge of at the moment, which is very, very impressive indeed, I must say. Evening to you, Gary. And hello to... actually, you shouldn't be able to hear that. I wonder why you could hear that then. Hello to Rob Shaggy Kershaw. Hello to you. Evening to you, sir. And good evening to Dan Woodhouse. Evening, Dan.
Evening, Chris.
All right. Now, why are you sending me pictures of your dinner tonight? Is there some sort of reason for that, dear?
That's no dinner.
What is it then? What is it, dog food? Is it dog food?
No, that is baba ganoush.
Right.
You've heard of... Oh, what are they called again? You've heard of hummus? Chickpea dip?
Oh, no, I can't be eating that stuff. No, it looks vile, hummus. I won't touch it. It just looks horrible.
You've heard of Parma salata?
Yes, yeah. Again, not something that I'd touch.
Well, baba ganoush
It looks a bit...
is...
I'm sorry, it looks a bit foreign to me.
Yeah, it's eggplant dip.
Oh, I don't know if I like the sound of that, dear. I'm a bit English with my food, as you well know. Chips? Where's the chips?
Well, it's meant for corn chips.
Let me just
actually.
bring up the picture of that again so that I can describe it to our dear listeners that are listening in their millions this evening all over the world. This programme has now got more listeners than Ken Bruce ever did. I'm telling you that now. And yes, so this thing Daniel's sent is, it's like in a plastic container thing, which of course once you've thrown away, that will remain in the earth for hundreds of thousands of years. Not good, Dan. And it's like, it looks like potato mash with a sprinkling of caramel powder over the top. That's what it
That's
looks
the
like to me.
paprika.
On a on a what is looking like rather a dirty counter, if you don't mind me saying so, Dan. Did you have Did you not think about cleaning the counter before you took the picture, dear?
I tried to, but
Yes.
you know, I was in a rush because
Was it too much work for you? Was it, love?
Yeah, I have to get
Yeah.
some. So I just got in. I made it because you know we had a bit of an accident as well
Oh, what's happened?
before I did it.
What happened?
It's meant to be roasted eggplant dip,
Roasted.
and
Is that different?
Yeah,
Is it right? Okay.
and I put the oven on to heat it up,
Yeah.
and after about 5 minutes, the smoke alarm went off,
Oh dear.
and I opened the oven door, and the smoke was bellowing out.
Oh my God.
All over the shop, and I was like, get it off, open window, get up, go into run to the smoke alarm with a tea towel, hit it, and
What were you hitting?
well, the smoke alarm you get a tea towel and you just go hit it.
Well, isn't there a button on it that says that silences it?
Well, there might be, but it's on the ceiling. I can't get up there.
Well, how long's it been up there?
Oh well, that's the new one. So that's about 2 years, is it? I suppose.
Well, can't you see? Go and have a look now.
I can't. I'm not there.
Where are you now?
I'm at the Great House of Wood, the mother house.
Oh, you're at your mum's house.
Yes.
All right. Well, are you having dinner there tonight then?
Yeah, just had it. It was lasagna tonight.
Oh, right. So what was that? So what was that picture you sent me then? When was that?
Well, I just had this reminder of it while I was in Asda, and I thought, well, I'll go and get the eggplant and the olive oil.
Right.
And so I thought, well, we'll just do it, you know. And since the oven failed, I just had to put it in the pan with the oil and just cook it in there.
Did you say the oven has failed?
Well, I think I know what it is. I think it was when I cooked sausages in there.
Right.
And
That's broken the oven, is it?
No, I think the fat has probably oozed.
Do you think the sausages are too big to put in the oven? Are they too big? Do you like
No,
big
it's probably
sausages,
too-
Dan? Do you?
In only Asda,
Right.
because it's very difficult because there's so many sausages for sale,
Yeah.
and they're all.
It's difficult. It's so difficult to choose, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, and then I was even sick once on some of, believe it or not, Ross packs out Tesco sausages.
Was it? Did you make a lot of noise when you were being sick?
Yeah. You see, they run to the toilet and,
Can you do the noise for us now of you being sick?
it's like
Although you're going to have to do that while throwing something into the toilet because it doesn't sound. You know, usually if you're going to be sick, it sounds like loads of liquid hitting the floor or something like that. A similar thing happened to me in Chariot Sauna once. But carry on anyway. Go on. Can you do that noise of like liquid hitting the floor?
Well, the only liquid I've got is this energy drink, and I don't think that would be nice over at my mum's bedroom carpet.
No, I shouldn't think she'd be very pleased about that. Are you in your mum's bedroom, and where's your mum?
Well, I'm in the sub bedroom. You know, the sub bedroom. Mum's just sitting on the couch,
Are you
falling
staying
off.
there tonight then, are you?
Yeah, I like staying here because the bed's a bit more comfortable. You know,
Right, yeah.
it feels a bit more.
Why
It's nothing like.
as your mum's got a spare room, perhaps you could give up your flat and move back in there.
No, that would, as my mum would say, that would be regression, and she couldn't stand the idea of all that work.
No, I
that
can
went
understand
into
that.
getting me
Yeah.
that flat would
Yeah.
be undone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, difficult, really, isn't it?
But yeah, as you can tell often with my phone calls, there's a bit of a foodie theme runs through them.
Yeah.
I
Well, I mean, you
wonder
get
if
through so much of it, don't you?
Yeah, I wonder if the food has got and is connected with that other great obsession of mine called class.
Called what?
Class.
Class.
Yeah, because
CLASS.
Yeah, because there's this program of mine that, you've got a little program you might want to go back to that you got on, a recording on. My favourite program actually is called Scarf on Class, where this bloke called Gerald Scarf, he attempts to try and unravel the mystery of this so-called Great British class system that we're
I'll
supposed
be honest.
to be.
I'm trying to unravel the mystery of this phone call at the moment, to be honest, Dan. So food. So you're into food and class. What? As in class of people, like poor people, rich people, posh people, common people.
Because
Where would you fit into that? What one would you think? Dan?
I would think I'm in this new class that I've invented. I've invented a new class.
Oh right, yeah.
And it's called alternative class.
Right.
And I think you'll be in that category as well, Chris.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. Because I'm a Claridge's person now, as you know. I'm the only one here who's a Claridge's person. There are no other Claridge's people here at all. I'm a now Claridge's person now, which is like, a class above everything, really. I don't think even. I don't think even Prince Harry has stayed at Claridge's, but I might be wrong. Don't know.
No, I think I'll have a think about that. It's you've fallen there because there's one thing you learn on watching Scarf on Class. I tell you what happened. There's this woman in it called Ursula.
God, not the European woman. She gets on my nerves, she does. Ursula von Trapp or whatever her name is. I thought she was in The Sound of Music when I first heard her name. Carry on.
No, I don't think it's that Ursula.
No.
But she's actually an aristocrat, and then she's asked by Mr. Scarf, what do you think of the the most great British aristocrats, the royal family? And says, well, the royal family, they're frightfully middle class. They're not aristocratic at all. Gerald, I am surprised at you. And then we found out, the royal family aren't actually aristocrat. Yeah. And then you think, well, apparently they can't even conduct their own extramarital affairs.
No.
Properly without.
Mind you, Dan, at least they have them, unlike yourself,
Well.
But,
yeah,
there is hope. There's always hope, Dan. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, my love.
Yeah, just because a couple of weeks ago, that was certain people in your Saturday night karaoke chat box were trying to
I told you before, the chat box is not for everyone, dear. And if people are annoying you, just come out of it and then sit back and enjoy the show. Unless, of course, you're not really there for the show at all, but you're there for the chat box.
Yeah, well, actually, I'll just say now, Chris, just to settle the score.
I mean, perish the thought that anyone was watching my programmes or listening to my programmes just for the use of the chat box and not actually anything I was talking about. That wouldn't make sense at all, would it?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just settle the score now for your millions of listeners tonight.
Well, I've just got a text from YouTube headquarters which said we are actually tonight at 1 billion for the first time ever, and I think that deserves a round of applause, don't you, Nick?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's not any normal people there, but you're there, so that's all that matters, darling.
Yeah. So I'll
Continue.
just make this announcement, please.
Oh, is there an announcement? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. To let everyone know, right, where I stand, because I don't want many more of your crass comments coming from these people. I may be single, but I don't worry about it.
No.
I don't go panicking. I don't go sulking like about 6 o'clock at night. Go, no, I'm still single. Oh, bloody
Well,
terrible.
of course you don't go sulking at 6 o'clock at night because usually you're asleep.
Yeah, or well, whenever, I don't, I just I still get on with it.
Yes.
It's not going to hurt me, but, because actually just before I came out tonight, I actually found there was this photo on Facebook that was taken this time last year, and it actually showed my room back in the flat.
Wow, and was it just as untidy then as it is now?
No, it was just the dining table was all completely pulled out, lay completely cleared. It was actually set up for a meal for two with me and the potential lover.
So you set a table up for you and a potential lover.
Yes.
Who was this potential lover?
Well, it was just, but it could just been anybody who has seen the photo, but.
No, just a minute. I want to get to the bottom of this. So, you set up a table for you and someone else, but there wasn't actually anyone else coming.
No, I just,
Just in case you pulled that night. Well, I was in the Scouts, Dan, and they always said it was good to be prepared.
Well, yeah.
All you've got to do now and again, perhaps once every few weeks, all you've got to do is pick up those knives and forks on the other side of that table, give them a bit of a dust off, and put them back again, and then it's all right for another few weeks, just in case you pull.
Yeah, I drop all these hints to all the girls on Facebook. This is Dan. He's good at cooking. He knows how to romanticise a nice meal and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and have all the best stuff that money can buy, and yet they just. That they just probably punt off to...
What do you mean? What do you mean you've got all the best stuff that money can buy?
Oh, yeah, I've got... Well, not necessarily that money can buy, but, I've got quite good quality Oneida cutlery.
Right.
It's called Balmoral, the style.
Have you nicked that from the castle?
I never even got... I've enough trouble getting out of London, let alone going up to Scotland.
Wow. Well, I want to know how you managed to get. I want to know how you've managed to get Balmoral cutlery. To be honest, how have you managed to get that?
It's called that. It's made by a company called Oneida, and in John Lewis, they don't. I don't. Think
John Lewis. They let you in John Lewis.
Yeah, they have
Good
all this,
God.
There's all this cutlery. You see,
Blimey, I bet those cameras are busy moving around when you're in there.
Yeah, all the styles were there, right?
Right.
And one of them was called Balmoral, and I actually thought that style was more me.
Yes.
So I went, because it's the only cutlery, my mum's got this, what do you call it? I suppose cantina cutlery it's wooden handle cutlery. It was a wedding present, I think.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, it's a great aunt of mine and uncle, John and Daisy. And that was a wedding, but it's just where it's just the basic, just one set of knives, one set of foot, one set. They didn't. It's not now with Oneida.
Yes.
You get the whole set for a 3-course meal. You get the main course knife and fork, hors d'oeuvre knife and fork, dessert knife and fork, and the soup spoon, and you get that really unnecessary one that I don't understand about.
Right.
The fish cutlery. What is that about? Have you seen fish cutlery?
Yeah, and I know exactly what... Do you know what? I know what that's for. Fish.
Oh, yeah, it's for fish, yeah, but why? Why the fork is just the normal fork and it's got two indents on either side? So what does that do to fish? I don't know.
Well,
And
I
the
don't
fish
know. You
knife-
eat fish. I don't eat fish. How am I supposed
Yeah.
to know what this stuff does?
Yeah, I've tried eating it with both, and it is bloody difficult with a fish knife.
Yeah.
The fork don't make any difference. I say the fork's just got 2 indents.
Right.
So what's that going to do for eating fish?
Well, I don't know. I don't
And,
eat fish. I
yeah.
don't eat anything with a face, as you well know.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, that's why we had that, you see. So we actually got so at Christmas time, my mum insists on the wooden cutlery,
Right.
but then I still have to provide the Oneida stuff for the actual, because there's an hors d'oeuvre so I try to get both of those. And, but then again, I always say it at my mum's, it's Christmas every day, near enough.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like that.
Why is it Christmas every day for you then? Are you getting a lot of benefits or what?
Well, no, it's just...
I think you're getting
because I
too
suppose
much.
It's the food.
I think you're getting
It's
too
the
many
food.
benefits, to be honest, Dan. Can you give me your
Yeah,
address? I'd
yeah,
like that
well,
checked up by the local council.
Yeah, but I've it's just because I'm a very nice man, you know. I'm someone who's actually suffered with the autism, so I deserve it, for real, because I'm proper, all on the medical report and all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, get back to the table. So you have the cutlery, and then you get the Perry goblets.
The what?
The Perry goblets.
Perry goblets.
Perry.
Perry. What is that? A little glass type thing, is it?
Yeah, it's as in wine glasses, but they're called.
Oh, right,
yeah. They're actually called proper Perry goblets.
Right.
And this is where we have the other bit of the issue as well with them.
And what wine do you drink then?
Well, whatever. Let's say good. I mean, there's a thing in cooking. The best chefs, they never use any wine in cooking that they wouldn't drink themselves.
Right.
That's what they're going to do. But what it is with the glassware,
yes,
my mum has got all these crystal, the actual proper crystal, the crystal stuff.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's crystal. And they're not shaped very well. You've got to be, because the rim of them, they go a bit in and then out, and then in and out, all round the actual glass.
What's that? There's a problem with the rimming, is there?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So you've got to put your mouth in the right position.
Yes.
Ooh, sounds a bit rude.
Is that something you've done before?
Well, I've...
No. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. But, and then you see the photo on the Facebook of mine, it's just the normal wine glasses. The proper, they're only about, £3 from wherever we got them from years ago. And that is what you get in a restaurant. So if you go in any restaurant, you don't get all the lead crystal stuff.
Well, you do in Claridge's.
Do they?
Oh, God, yes.
Well,
Oh,
well,
God.
I
What
think
do you
there's
think
a
we're
bit of a
sitting? You
mistake
think we're
there.
sitting in the Claridge's restaurant drinking out of plastic beakers, dear?
No,
It's not a
plastic,
Weatherspoons.
No, I don't say
God's
plastic.
sake, man.
There's a couple of reasons for that, Chris. Why?
Oh, there is. One of them is the
shouldn't
price
have.
I pay to go there.
Because it's just sort of it's because, right, if you start having all these, you have a normal wine glass, right, then you say your mind is more focused on the wine inside than the actual glass. But if you start having all these fancy glasses, it's like, suddenly your mind is more put to the glassware than the wine inside.
Is it?
So it's, see, Brian Turner told me that, because it's the same thing with
Who's
plate.
he? Who's he?
Brian Turner, the famous Yorkshireman chef.
Never heard of him.
Never
Never heard of him.
Cook. Yeah, Ready Steady Cook. He was always on that. And
No, don't watch any cookery programs at all. I can't bear them. People often say to me, because I know I've done a couple of little cookery videos on YouTube, and people do like them, but I do not watch, and I don't really particularly enjoy doing cookery programs. The bleeding telly is full of cookery programs, quiz shows, and crap reality television.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't really call them cooking shows anyway these days. They're more just cooking competitions.
Oh, I don't know what they are.
Yeah. But
I see
but
that one who swears a lot. He's about to start a new one, isn't he?
Ramsey, yeah.
What's his
He was the
name?
one who
Gordon
put
Ramsay,
me off going into the profession.
That's it. Yeah. Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to. But
Oh,
it just
were you
didn't
thinking
happen
of
in the
coming off the benefits at some point then, were you?
end. Well, I wasn't on them at the time.
Oh.
It was only when I fell into a certain disposition that I ended up on them. But no, I said, what is this, Brian? Sorry, what he said was that the same thing goes with plates as well. You know, you go around people's houses, they have these plates with all the flower patterns on them and all that. Well, that's diverting your mind from the food, from the fact that the food is crap. So you divert your mind onto the fancy pattern on the plate.
Does it?
Where if you ever come to mine for dinner, the food is served on plain white plate.
Is it?
So there's no pattern. So your mind's more diverted onto the food.
I would have thought you were one of those sort of people that use, the paper plates so that you don't have to wash them up.
Convenience.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We couldn't really.
No.
Well, it only means we'd only have to go
it's the trouble is it's the gravy, you see. The gravy. It's all very well holding your potatoes and your sausages, because I know you do like a good sausage, and fish and all that. That's all right. That's all right until you put on the gravy, and then the plate collapses, and you end up with a lap full of gravy. On the other hand, at least you'd have something on your lap, Dan.
Yeah. This starts getting a bit suggestive in a way, doesn't it? It's
Not
a bit
really, no. Not unless that's how your mind thinks. Not really, no.
Every little moment, there's a bit of a unfortunate double entendre creeps in.
Is there? Well, I hadn't noticed.
But you see, that's all right for me and you, because we're on that alternative class.
Are we?
That I mentioned right at the start. You see, because that's another thing, we can afford to do that. It's all right.
Can afford to do what?
Well, be a bit vulgar and all that.
I don't like to be vulgar. I'm sorry. No, that's not for me, my love. Not for me. There's plenty of those channels on the internet. If you want to sit there watching the hub all night, that's entirely up to you. I like a good, clean family post. So you have to. You must always remember. My nephew is often watching this program, and I wouldn't want him to get the wrong idea about me.
Oh no. Didn't you get the wrong idea?
What is Uncle Chris talking about? What is Uncle Chris talking about now? I didn't think he was like that. I'd hate to think that he would think something like that about me.
Well, yeah, I know. As somebody told me years ago, your friends you can choose, but your relations, you have to be careful, because they're always around you.
I don't agree with that, because if I could choose my relations, I would have chosen all the ones that I've got already. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, that's just...
Thank you for your exciting phone call tonight, Dan. And I hope at some point you find a woman and a job.
Yeah, all right, but just remember, don't worry about it.
I'm not worrying, darling. Believe me,
you're
I'm
not in the
worrying.
chat box. Doesn't have to worry about it.
No, if you're not happy in the chat box, you come out of it. And you can still join in with the show. You send me messages directly, either on the Reach On Air message system or by text message. You still join in with the show just as much as you have without having to be in that chat box, all right?
Yeah.
Don't even look at it. Turn the chat off if it's upsetting you, my love. Don't get involved.
I'm all right. Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
Chris.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Dear me, that was hard work, anyway. Now, let's read some of your messages, and then we'll play another little... should we play another song now? Actually, yeah. Let's play another song now, boys and girls.
Yes, I was an easy one to fool. Blue-eyed and blonde, just a regular tool. But some things you just don't realize. Even though they're happening right in front of your eyes, I'm not even sure just what went wrong. All I know, I've stayed here for too long.
Ginger Meek there and Vibe Like That. Here on this Tuesday night, Reach on Air, just coming up to 4 minutes past 9. Thank you, Quincy, who says you and Danny enjoy the rest of your night up early, so have to run. Enjoy your evening, Quincy. Let's read some of your messages there. And Rob says, Chris, tell Dan if his sausage is too big for the oven to use more grease. It will always find its way eventually into the oven. So thanks very much for the advice there to Rob. Passed on for you. Good evening to Stephen Petty. Evening to you, sir. He's up in Lincolnshire, who says, evening, Chris. Hope you're safe and well. I'm back on nights now. Oh, no, he's driving at the moment. Big articulated lorry out towards Wrexham in West Wales. He's heading home back to Lincoln once it's finished today. He's got a bit of delivery going on there. So good evening to you. Talking of deliverers, actually, when they delivered my equipment yesterday for the solar panels, I don't know how he did it. This enormous articulated lorry came down my road, which is not built for articulated lorries. And I got this phone call. I said, where are you? Oh, I'm down the end. He said, oh, I'm in the middle of the road. Okay, I'll come out and find you. And I walked out my house. And I turned the corner. And they're right in the middle of the road was this enormous lorry. And I don't know how he managed to get down there. I said, well, I'm down the end. I said, but you ain't going to get round there with that. At which point, I don't know how he did it, Stephen, and presumably you have to do this. He then reversed into this little bit where all the some garages are and turned. I'm like, how did you do that without hitting anything? I think he might have gone over the corner, but I mean, it's unavoidable, but blimey, you know. So I had a load of stuff delivered yesterday for going up on the roof and in my loft for these solar panels there. Thank you. Luke said, good evening to Luke. He's on his own this week because his mum's away on holiday in Egypt. Oh, lovely. I've never been to it. Egypt doesn't appeal to me. None of those desert-type countries other than Israel, which, of course, I went to see all the Jesus stuff and all that business and all the religious stuff, as well as the Dead Sea and stuff like that. I loved Israel. But Saudi Arabia, Dubai, very popular with people, isn't it? Dubai. What's the one you said? Egypt. Anywhere like that just does not appeal to me at all. See, I don't like sand. I don't like a sandy beach. I can't bear it. When I go to the beach with great nieces and great nephews and things like that, I do try to avoid going on the beach. If there's a bit of a concrete promenade, you know, I'll be up there while my sister, because she loves it, you know, my sister's in the paddling in the sea with the children and that, and which is nice. I should do it, really. I should do it. I should take my... I can't stand sand on my feet. Can't bear it. And they've got rid of all the taps now, haven't they, as well? Remember, you used to get taps at the seaside, at the edge of the beach, and you just put your feet under there. It was a bit pointless, really, because you'd wash all this sand off, and then immediately you put your feet back down on the sand, wouldn't you? Crazy. Hello to my secret lover, Mark Bowles, is in this evening. Good evening, Mark. All right, sweetheart. Hello, darling. Evening, Mark's not been well either. Isn't that strange how we were both ill at the same time, me and Mark Bowles? Evening, Mark. And hello to Shania on the Isle of Wight there. Evening, Shania. Vera says, on the subject of violence at work, no one dares swear at me at work. They tried it once and I was ready for them. I'm sure you were, my love. I'm sure you were. Hello to the Pink Poo. Is it the Pink Poo? That's a good name, Pink Poo. And Lady S is there. Good evening to Lady S. And what's the station number? Oh, get yourself a pen, Lady S, and I'll give you the number, darling. You can talk about what we're talking about or anything, actually, okay? If you fancy calling in, I'm going to give out the number now.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
Okay. The only thing is when you call in, you must send your number. I don't accept blocked numbers or withheld numbers. You must send your number when you're calling in, because if we don't do it that way, what happens is that virtually every withheld or blocked number that comes up puts the phone down again or quickly swears and all that. If you send your number, then I can block you fairly quickly if you do that. All right, my darling? So you must send your number if you're calling in. Once again, that phone number...
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
Still not got it? Don't worry, I'll give it to you again in a minute, lady. Yes, and welcome to the show. I'm glad you enjoy it. Good evening to DJ Sparky. A very good evening to you. He's bought some new DJ gear there. Look, he's going to do a little show tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Vera reckons the Gremlin is in full flow tonight. Yeah, the Gremlin is. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight, Vera. I just can't stop it, dear. I honestly don't know what's wrong with me tonight, my love. Over on YouTube and Facebook Live. Hello to Rebel Bert. Evening to you, sir. Weird City wants to know, what's my favourite beach? Oh, Brocklesham Bay. Brocklesham Bay in Sussex. And the reason is that's where I spent a lot of my childhood. Mum and Dad used to take me and my sister down there quite often. We went for a few holidays down there, hiring a bungalow. There was also a Pontins down there, and I think I was 18 or 19. No, 21. I was 21. I was 21, and I went down there with. Do you know what? I've just looked. Oh, that's a bit worrying. I've just looked up, right? On the right-hand side, there's shelves, and they're on those, you know, those long brackets like that. And the shelves, they're on the wall, and then the shelves like attach into it. And I've just noticed the screw at the top is way out of the wall, along with the bracket. That'd be Chris Reardon DIY. Mind you, they haven't done bad. They've been up there about 25 years now. So that's not bad, is it? They managed to stay in there all that long. I better have a look at that, hadn't I? I wonder if my nephew would be willing to come down to Bracknell to fix my shelf back up. I could do. This whole room needs a really good tidy up, to be honest. It's awful. Yes, so that's the reason, Weird City. My favourite beach is Brocklesham Bay in Sussex. What's yours? Do any of you have favourite beaches? Let us know where they are, okay? Where's your favourite beach? Let us know. Use the Reach on Air TikTok message system or YouTube. Or once again, you can call in. You ready for that phone number? Once again.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
Okay. Hello to Mandy. Evening to Mandy Davenport. Hello, darling. All right. Mandy Davenport is, of course, has a very, very important job on this programme, and she is indeed in charge of pain and suffering on this channel. Okay, when people are being a little bit naughty, which is most of you, we do send Mandy Davenport round, and she deals with you very, very swiftly. Sometimes you survive, sometimes you don't. That's just how it is. Hello to John Parrish. Finley's there. Good. Oh, I think we've lost Finley. Finley's gone there. Hello to you, Finley. All right. Mick Davenport suggests that maybe in warmer weather we could have a clothesline video up there. You know. And you see, Gary, I think you just like the chat box, don't you? That's what it is, love. Because whenever there's a live, there's a chat box. That's all you want it for, isn't it? Bring back the tumble dry videos. Well, we did 3 of those. And the third one didn't get many people joining in, so we've abandoned that idea now. All right, we've actually abandoned that one now. Let's have a look. Peter Remington, hello to you. Long time since we saw you. Hello to you, Peter. Welcome along to the show, and I'm here till 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, as long as possible. Okay, we do 2 hours on a Tuesday and 2 hours... 1 hour usually on a Wednesday night. Hello to N. Memerick. Hello to you. Welcome along to the show there. Weird City says he loves Worthing Beach, which is also in Sussex. That's not far at all from Brocklesham Bay. I know Worthing. In fact, if I remember rightly, we did stay in a little bungalow there somewhere. And we thought it was a bit like a witch's house for some reason. It was like just like a witch's house there. So that's a nice place there, you know. It's all right, Mandy. So she gets very excited when she hears that noise. I usually just let them hear the noise, you know. And do you know, I think, Mandy, a lot of people get very scared when they hear that noise because they think that it might be their turn to be getting punished. I reckon. What do you think? Alrighty, there's another text there. Let's read this one. Evening to Jason Hughes, just texting in this evening. Good evening to you, Jason. Welcome along to the side. Mandy says, I will tell you now, I don't do safe words when it comes to pain and suffering. Absolutely, Mandy. You know, what about that other one they all use, Mandy? You know, stop. I don't think so. Mandy would just stand there and laugh, dear, if you said stop to her. Not a chance. Not a chance, eh? By the way, how did you get on Mother's Day this year? Did you buy your mum's stuff or anything? What did you buy them? Anything? Oh, I can't be bothered to do it. I think my niece got some nice presents from her children, and my sister as well. She got a few little bits and pieces. Flowers, anything like that, I wonder? What did you do for your Mother's Day? Dan Woodhouse, what did you do for your Mother's Day? Don't have to call in. You can always text your answers as well, darlings, all right? What did you do for your mums on Mother's Day? Evening to Mr. Dave Squires, he's with you. Straight after the 11 o'clock news here at Reach on Air. Okay, evening to Jacob, just joining us there. Evening, Jacob. Mother's Day, come on. What did you do for Mother's Day? Peter Remington says, I know Storrington, Peter. Peter Remington says, my daughter lives in Storrington in West Sussex. Very nice down there. I know it, Peter, because many years ago when I was looking to move out of London, I was living in Wandsworth in London, right? Storrington was one of the places I went to look at. And it's like in front of big tall hills. I wouldn't say mountains, hills, isn't it? It's in front of hills. And I remember there going to this, I think it was a churchyard or somewhere like that me and my mate parked in, Steve. I don't see him anymore, my mate Steve. He's got his own little family now. And he's it was an ambulance driver. I think he's gradually moved up through the ranks there. I'm not sure he still does ambulance driving. But I actually went down to Storrington to have a look, to see if there was somewhere that I liked. But although the places seemed to be okay, it was the hills that put me off. They were kind of... It almost felt like you were hemmed in with these hills, So that's why we didn't move to Storrington. But I know it very well, yeah. Mind you, I say very well. Like I just said to you, I've been here 92, so I've been here 31. Is it 92? I moved here. I think I've been here 31 years this year, and I love it here. Absolutely love it here. But apart from that, yeah, it's got to be 30 odd years since Storrington. Let's take a call. Hello, who's on the line in London?
Maureen.
Good evening, Maureen. How are you, darling? All right?
I'm all right, thank you.
Oh, I don't know why I haven't saved your number on here, so I should be able to tell when you ring. That's okay. That's all right. How are you, Maureen?
I'm okay, I'm fine, thank you, and I'm glad that you're better.
Oh, it took a while, this one, yeah.
Yeah.
It did take a little bit of a while, this, but one of those things, we all get ill occasionally. What about you? Are you keeping well, Maureen?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. And I had a lovely bouquet of flowers from my daughter for the Mother's Day.
Oh, I'm so pleased about that.
Marks and Spencer, but beautiful. She said she liked to send me fragrant flowers, and
freesias?
There was tulips and roses and irises and hyacinths. Beautiful bouquet.
Is there any freesias, or is it a bit early for those?
I actually got freesias and roses when it was my birthday.
Ah, yeah.
She got them from Waitrose. That came. That was really nice.
They're a lovely smelling flower, freesias.
Nice, yes,
oh,
I know.
Beautiful, yeah,
beautiful perfume on them. They're still living. The roses actually died, but the freesias are still living from the birthday,
right.
bouquet.
Oh, I'm so pleased for you, Maureen. Did she come round or just send them round?
No, I didn't see her.
Right, okay.
Because I only saw her on my birthday.
Right.
I've not seen her, but as I say, she sent me flowers, which was lovely.
Yeah.
And Chris, I was thinking of going to the Ideal Home Show again, because I usually like to go once a year. I just wondered if any of the listeners has been so far, and what's it like this year?
I think it's a bit... Is it on now, is it?
Yes, it's been on since Friday, and it's on till the 2nd of April.
Oh, as long as that. I thought it was only on for a week or a few days.
Oh, a couple of weeks.
So
I think
where is that held now? Because that used to be Earl's Court, didn't it?
No, Olympia.
Is it Olympia, is it?
Yes, yes.
Is that close to Earl's Court?
I'm not sure.
Is it Hammersmith, Olympia?
I think it come near Kensington. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it would be Hammersmith, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Hammersmith,
yeah, I'm not
Kensington
sure.
way. I know,
And
yeah.
I was thinking maybe I might try and go tomorrow. Maybe I'll see how
I went years ago to that. I mean, years and years ago. I think I was a teenager, and in those days, they used to give you loads of samples.
That's it.
And
yes.
little bits. I don't think that happens so much anymore.
No. Last year I went. No, they were very, very poor on the samples.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Luke's trying to call in. Luke, I can only take one call at a time, Luke. So if you want to just wait until Maureen has finished with her conversation, and then you can try then, Luke. All right, mate? I can only do one at a time there. Carry on, Maureen, darling. So you went last year. Did they give you any samples last year of anything at all?
The only couple of samples you got was like a goodie bag. They had a period of time in the afternoon where you all queued up for this goodie bag.
And what was in that?
I think it was.
It wasn't like the goodie bag that they give out at the Oscars, then, no?
No, I think they just gave mainly maybe samples of cream and different things. It wasn't as good as what they used to give you.
Yeah.
But it was all right. But I find it interesting, because they had. I remember last year. I think I told you they had a lot of flowers there, but they wouldn't let you buy them, and people were pinching them because they wouldn't let you buy them.
Naughty people. People do that in cemeteries, I hope your daughter hasn't been round the cemetery, collected some flowers and gave you those, my love.
No, these were beautiful. The bouquet that I got, they ring a couple of times and then they leave them on the doorstep. The deliverer, the guy,
Yeah. Most of them do that. They all seem to do that now. No one knocks anymore, do they?
Yeah. When you look outside, you don't see nobody, but at least you get your flowers. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll be seeing you Friday then, Maureen.
Yes. Did you? By the way, have you managed to put up the tea towel of?
No, because I haven't moved the other things yet from the side. The problem is the picture of the Queen is a little bit. Every time I take it down, I have to cut another bit off.
Okay.
It's getting smaller and smaller now.
Yeah.
But yes, that'll definitely be going up in that corner to celebrate the great Steve.
Yeah. Have you heard anything further about it?
No, nothing really.
I don't think he quit. I think they just wouldn't renew his.
I think they. They didn't think he fitted in anymore. Yeah. Never
and
mind.
didn't they get rid of somebody else? I heard on the BBC. He'd been there 48 years.
Yes, Ken Bruce, Radio 2. They've all gone from there. They wanted a changeover. I mean, I see both sides of the story. They're trying to attract the younger listeners, but the trouble is the younger listeners aren't really listening to the radio. They're listening to Spotify. So I don't know where it'll all end, to be honest. I find very little hope for FM radio. I just feel so very grateful for the internet and how anyone like myself is able to literally, with a little bit of technical knowledge, is able to literally switch on a computer and do a show.
Yeah.
At various different levels of expertise. I'm not a professional by any shape or form. As I've said so many times before, I'm really not. The
perfect picture. Your cameraman is perfect here. The picture is really lovely and clear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the more. It's not an expensive camera, but it is one of the more expensive webcams, if you see what I mean. Those of you that are technically minded might like to know it's a Logitech Brio. Brio, if you want to look it up. That's the webcam I use for YouTube. Yeah.
Perfect.
And it's a decent microphone, as I say, to make sure it sounds, because it's a radio show rather than a video show. The video's a bit of an add-on today. Tomorrow night is a video show.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Did you have a nice time at the karaoke? It was busy Friday, wasn't it? Again.
Yeah. Well,
it's always busy there. It's packed in there on a Friday. Packed.
Yeah, they had 30 singers on Friday, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's quite normal for a Friday. Trouble is, you only get to see two. If you're really lucky, you'll sing 3 times. Most people will sing twice.
I think I did I went 3 or 4 songs I think I sang.
Yeah.
But they had a wake going on upstairs, so I think maybe some of those people maybe come downstairs too.
Did they? Yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah, okay. All
Okay,
right then,
then,
Maureen.
Chris.
Thanks for calling in, darling.
Yes. Okay.
Appreciate that.
See you Friday.
Have
Okay.
a nice evening. Bye-bye, my love.
Bye, Chris.
There we are. Lovely Maureen in London for you there, boys and girls. She's happy about her flowers there, isn't she? We were talking about the seaside there. Let's just scroll up a little bit there. Of course, blimey. Where do we go now? I love it. Mandy Davenport. What's stop, Chris? Exactly, darling. Hello to Janice. Hello, Janice. All right, welcome along, Janice. Mother's Day should be later in the year when there's a chance of nicer weather. Yeah, you could probably get a lot cheaper flowers. We could grow them yourself, couldn't you? You know, we haven't all got greenhouses. I haven't got a greenhouse. I had this plastic greenhouse once, which was a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. It would just keep tearing all the time. It's only a cheap thing, not like a proper glass greenhouse or something like that. Gary Ross on the subject of beaches. Gary says Newcastle County Down. He loves the beach there. So there we are. Okay. Peter Remington. It's the South Downs, of course. That's those big hills, isn't it? The South Downs. And that was the trouble with Storrington. If I had one of those houses, and they were nothing special, these houses, were they? I think it was a bit cancely, to be honest, but that doesn't bother me. If you open a window or in the garden, you were kind of met with these great big hills. And I felt a bit enclosed there. Perhaps I'm a bit claustrophobic, I don't know. Mick Davenport. He did a 250-mile round trip today to take Mum some flowers and a few presents. So that's a nice thing to do, isn't it, eh? Quite honestly, Mick, and everyone else, actually, I think most of the time it's not the presents and the flowers, it's your appearance that makes all the difference. It's a bit like, when someone's in hospital. Believe me, if you're in hospital, the last thing you want is people to send chocolates, flowers, whatever. They want someone in there with them. They want a visitor. And it may be that you sit next to them in the bed and you've bought a load of grapes and you sit there and eat all the grapes and the chocolates and everything else. But they want someone there visiting them, you see. Luke in Peterborough is calling. Good evening, Luke.
Hi, Chris. How are you today?
All right there, Luke. Just to let you know, Luke, you were trying to call in. If there's someone on the phone to me, you can't call in. Yeah, you have to wait for them to finish. Just for your help in future, because I don't want you to keep calling in and being disappointed when no one answers.
Oh, no problem. That's all right.
All right. What's going on with you, Luke?
I just wanted to call in about the state of radio. At the moment, it's terrible, I think. Good job we've got the internet.
Oh, yes. What, for internet radio? Yeah. This is my friend Ross. He's not with us this evening. Ross packs out. But my friend Ross and I agree. And I think he was having a conversation with a bloke called Mike Cullen, who's done various different radios and all that. And he keeps leaving. And the problem is even on a community radio station, you've got so many restrictions of stuff you can't talk about, or you can only play this sort of music and this, that and the other. You book a show on Reach On Air, and as long as you don't upset people or start swearing your head off or inciting, wars or phobias or racism, whatever, as long as you don't do any of that, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, believe me, this show sounds exactly as I want it to. There's no one telling me what to do. Do you know what I mean?
Good, because I think that's the problem. The producers have got too big for their boots these days.
Yeah.
They start projecting what they want onto the DJ or presenter, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, that's right.
And about TV as well, I think it's dumbing down TV, because the BBC used to be such a revered channel, and I just think it's gone downhill. I don't know what the thing to do about it is, because it's just things to be... They're getting rid of the good programs to put all this cookery stuff on, which
Have
I
you?
don't want.
Yeah. Have you been with us a long time tonight? Or have you just joined us?
I've been with you a long time because
Okay, so you would have heard us talking about all the cookery and it's just cookery and quiz shows galore and
yeah. It never used to be like that. It used to be a lot better, and I think it's just.
Do you think? I mean, can I ask how old are you, Luke?
I'm 38.
Oh, so you're not sort of getting older by any shape or form, and yet you think that. Sometimes I think to myself, because I'm 60, a lot of the people here are over the age of 50, and I think, oh, maybe it's just an age thing, and we just haven't moved on. But if you're 38 and you're saying the same thing, then I think there is something wrong.
Well, I think people just because I watch a lot of old TV shows.
Yeah.
And old stuff on the internet, and I think it was less restricted back in those days. I think that's the problem. It's too restricted these days with everything. But like I have carers at the minute because my mum's away, as I told you, and even they're restricted on what they're allowed to do. And they're only allowed to be here a certain amount of time because they're so restricted on
time.
They've got so many people to fit in. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
And there's less and less carers now because the money is just.
No one wants to do the job. No one wants to do the job. And I think one of the reasons is because it's all been privatised. You know,
that's the trouble. Because I remember when my
everyone's trying to make a bit of money out of it. You see, this is the problem.
Yeah, because I said to my mum, he said about going into respite, and I said, I am not paying £1,400 a week to go into respite because
how much?
£1,400 a week.
I mean, who's got that sort of money? It's just not working anymore, all this privatisation business. And like I say, everyone's trying to take a little cut of the pie. And it gets more and more expensive. It's not working. None of this is working anymore. It's crazy.
I don't know what's going to happen because it's going to get to a certain point where they can't go on. And they'll just say, well, we can't provide care for you.
Yeah.
And what are people going to do?
Oh, I don't know. It's terrible, really. Terrible.
But luckily I'm quite independent and I can sort myself out. As long as people leave me food out on the table, I can sort myself out.
You keep eating then, Luke. Thanks for calling in tonight, all right?
I will do, and thank you for listening to me.
No problem at all. Cheerio, Luke. Good luck to you.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye now.
Good night.
There we are, Luke calling from Peterborough there. DJ Swishy and Johnny F are very, very, what's the word? I can't think of the word now. Very, very impatient tonight, aren't you? Very, very impatient. Listen, if I'm on a phone call, then they will have my 100% attention, and you'll have to wait. And as you're so blooming, I forgot the word again. What was it? Impatient. You can wait a little bit longer now. Let's. Let me have a look here. We were talking. Sorry, my darlings. Let's just scroll back a little bit there. We were talking about beaches and things like that, weren't we? Oh, gosh. Oh, we're going to have to go quite a far back here. There we go. Gary Ross Air Beach in Scotland. I love it there. Oh, gosh, the beach at Lossiemouth up in Scotland. Oh, my God, that is a beach to die for. I tell you that now. You cross over this little bridge. You walk round the corner, it just opens up, and this beach is gorgeous. And that is a beach I didn't mind walking on. And when was that? That was last November, that is. Which reminds me, I've got to book another holiday up to Scotland to see my niece and her family. I had such a good time up there. Evening to Stephen. Hello to Stephen. Good evening to you, sir. How's it going to say? I love your family. Been watching the Butlers for years. Hope you're well. Thank you, Stephen. And welcome along to our little Tuesday night live show. Don't forget, gang, you can just listen if you want. This is a radio show. Just go to your smart speaker and say Amazon Play radio station Reach on air, and you'll be able to hear us there. Lovely quality on there, especially when we play some music, and I'll give you another little tune in a moment or two. All right. Daniel was asked to go on our flower stall on Mother's Day to clear up the mess. Oh, you're not very good talking to the customers. I would imagine, Daniel, any sort of young lady who comes up there and asks for a bunch of flowers, you're just going to spend the next 2 hours chatting them up, like the fat blokes doing curries. I mean, if you're a pretty girl when you go in curries, you'll have all these fat blokes gather around you and start chatting you up. Any other customer who isn't female and pretty, right, don't get a look in. I've been in there and seen it with my own eyes. It's outrageous. Mick, oh my God, look who it is, Nicholas Pandolfi. Hello, Nick. Nick's a BBC person. He's all over the radio. And Nicholas Pandolfi, hello to you, darling. Welcome along to this strange, mysterious show. Here I am, Nick. There you are in BBC Studios. Here I am. Still in a spare bedroom. But there we are. I'm enjoying myself. Thanks, Nick, for popping up there. Sorry you've had to wait so long. Mick, the worst beach for me was Chesil Beach. He went sea fishing there. And as the tide came in, I couldn't get up the shale. I thought I was a goner. I've had a couple of occasions like that, actually, Mick. One was down the towpath in Putney where this water was... I've told this story so many times. The water was just lapping. I thought, I just got time to go down there for a little walk. And then I turned around to come back and the water had come up over the towpath and I had got wet feet on the way in. And also, we were in Yorkshire. I think it was Yorkshire. With my niece and her family on a little bit of a holiday about 4 or 5 years ago. Baby James wasn't alive then, so it was some time ago. And we went round this, you go on the beach and there's like rocks and then you sort of go round the corner. It's like a little bit that goes in, yeah? So we walked round there and we walked on this bit that went in and we walked up to the top of it. And then we realised the tide was coming in. And so by the time we got back and the water was already at the rocks, which meant we were going to get wet feet. So I got wet. I think I got wet feet, and my niece's husband got wet feet, but she didn't. She was pregnant. She was pregnant at the time. So we carefully pushed her up on the rocks and carefully got her to walk round so she didn't get wet feet. But you'd be surprised how quickly that tide comes in. If you're ever on a sort of place where you think, oh, if that water, I'm glad that water's not in because I'd be cut off. Well, if it's really far out, then yes, one of those things there, all right? So Mick had that as well there. Look at that. Rob Kershaw says, could I apply for the role of Reach on Air Reardon Towers as switchboard? I can filter the calls prior to allowing them on air and make a banging cup of Yorkshire tea. Thank you very much. That sounds all right to me. I don't think we get enough calls in to demand a switchboard operator yet, though. Nicholas, David Jacobs has gone there as well. David Jacobs, God. They're all going from Radio 2 and the BBC. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'll be honest with you. I think BBC Local Radio is very well done. Right. I've been myself up at BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Those of you that have been with the show a long time will know I have been up there. And I did some little bits and pieces for them a few years ago now. I don't do it now. And it's very well run. And the way the shows are all put together is very, very professional. It sounds fantastic. But I would say to you, I don't think many people are listening to it. Honestly, I don't know anyone around here, that listens to BBC Radio Berkshire. I mean, I'm sure they've got a little crowd. Is it worth the money spent on it? I don't know. Maybe the cities, yes. But I don't know. So, Swishy and Johnny want to know, am I working in London Saturday? Yes, indeed. 7:30 till 11 o'clock. I'm doing karaoke on Friday and Saturday. 7:30 to 11 o'clock at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, all right? Mark J's there. All right, Mark, who says, we don't like Abergele Beach, too stony. It's a bit like Llandudno's North Shore. Colwyn Bay is much better. Isn't that where Shirley's from? Oh, yeah, Shirley. Goldfinger. Ba-ba-ba. The man with a golden gun. Can't remember the words to that one. Shirley Bass is from Colwyn Bay, isn't she? Or is, oh, no, Tiger Bay. I beg your pardon, Tiger Bay, isn't it? Yeah. Don't tell her I got that wrong. She'll never come in here for an interview, you know. Hello to Fran Green. Evening to you, Fran. She's been busy with Aphasia Mansfield Group's 10th anniversary today. She's had fuddle cake. What's that? Fuddle cake. Sounds delightful. Fuddle cake. Fuddle cake. What is that? Oh, dear. Johnny F is coming on his own, a single man. Okay, well, we'll see him there on Saturday. Friday and Saturday, as you know, I do karaoke at Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Just a reminder, gang, the Friday is always much busier than the Saturday. You know, to the point where there's sometimes too many people there, to be honest. Okay. So just scroll there. Mark J on the subject of doing radio shows. That's why I love presenting on Reach on Air. I can make my own shows sound how I want them to. Nobody telling me what to do. And if you don't mind me saying so, Mark, I was with you for most of your show this morning. Very nice. Very nice. You see, you were your own person. All right? Sometimes people will fill in on a show and they try and do the show in the same way that the original person does. That doesn't really work. You've got to go and be yourself. Okay, you might use the same music and that, you know, but you've got to be yourself when you're doing a radio show or a video show, I think. Don't try and copy someone else. Don't matter how good you think they are. You can, of course, be influenced by someone else. You know, I always think it's a great thing when people say to me, your show is influenced. Who's your influencers? And I say to them straight away, Tony Blackburn, as in a music DJ. Steve Allen, as in a talk show host. Also, Mike Dickin, who's a talk show host. He got killed some years ago in a car crash. Funny thing is, he was always going on about speed cameras, and he died in a blooming car crash. Bless his heart. So there we are. Yeah. So you sounded great this morning. Thank you, Mark. And Mark is also hosting a show for you next Monday morning, because that's when the electrician's coming, and I don't know if the power will be off. All right. Mick Davenport says you can't beat Cornwall for beaches, but he likes Skeg Vegas Beach. There you go. Look at that. He likes Skegness Beach. I'm not keen on Skegness Beach only because it's dirty. I mean, the peasants that drop all their crap all over the place, it does my head in. You can't walk past Skegness Beach and see various tins and bottles just left there. It's awful. Stephen, far north of Scotland. Here we go. Look, far north of Scotland is the best beaches in the UK. Cornwall beaches are nice. I lived in Newquay for 4 years. Yeah, that's what I say, Stephen. The one at Lossiemouth was wonderful. I read some of your messages again. We're going to play you another little tune. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to play you another little tune now, boys and girls. All right, and then back to your messages.
This city has a special morning voice. Speaks to me through an open window, masquerading as noise. 10 million people waking up, and somehow I'm the lucky guy who gets to make you a coffee cup. And if I ever forget what matters most, if I am giving up the ghost, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. And if I stumble and fall, if I make a mess of it all, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. This city can be hard and unforgiving. You better know who you are. You brought me back to the living. You were my guiding star. And if I ever forget what matters most, if I am giving up the ghost, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. And if I stumble and fall, if I make a mess of it all, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall.
Favourite songs at the moment. Jason Mraz, I Feel Like Dancing here at Reach On Air. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you get a different piece of music due to copyright restrictions there, okay? Back to your messages about the beautiful beaches that we have around the UK. And, you know, I always say you don't really need to go abroad. We've got it all here. And especially, have you seen, there seems to be an extra tax now on airplane prices or something like that. Hasn't the tax gone up there somewhere? It's getting dearer and dearer to fly, isn't it? Fran Green says you can't beat Cornwall beaches. She likes Mablethorpe and Yarmouth. Now, I've seen the beach at Mablethorpe. That's nice. And it looks new. Do you know what I mean? Where all the concrete is like unchipped and all that business. That looks nice, the one at Mablethorpe. And also there's an excellent chip shop there. What's it called again, Fran? You mentioned it. I've been there myself. On your advice, absolutely delicious fish and chips in Mablethorpe. Mark J. Some beautiful beaches on Anglesey and the Clen Peninsula. Is that how you say it? Clen? Double L. Cl. And it... in West Wales and Anglesey and the Clen Peninsula, as well as the West Coast. Thank you there. Mick Davenport at Saltfleet in Lincolnshire. You have to cross a minefield, do you really? Oh, blimey. Safe for walking through the houses in Tehran, isn't it? Nicholas, beaches. Thank you, Nick. Beaches. Adel, how do you say that? Aldeburgh Beach in Suffolk is a lovely shingle beach, great views and easterly winds. Now, I wouldn't mind that actually, Nick. I much prefer a sort of shingly, stony beach than sand. And you can sit on a shingle beach. You just need a couple of thick towels, and you lay them down. You kind of, if you put your bum down first, right, especially if you've got a fat ass like mine, put your bum down first, wiggle it around a bit, and it makes like a dent. Some people make bigger dents than others. Mine is particularly large. You make a dent in the stones, and you kind of lay back there, have a little wiggle, and you're comfortable as anything, aren't you? Actually, on a shingle beach, which is great. Let's just scroll down now. Hello to Nick Ingle. Hello, Nick. Nice to see you looking better. Yeah, I'm feeling much better now. It was how long did I have an illness? It'd be 2 weeks on Thursday. I'm not completely recovered yet, but I did go swimming on Sunday night, and I set myself a limit of 20 lengths. I usually do 60. I ended up doing 40, so I was happy with that. And I had to stop a couple of times. Usually I bang out 60 lengths without stopping. I had to stop a couple of times. I've decided to go swimming again tomorrow. And I'm going to leave the gym until Monday. And then I'll probably go back to the gym on Monday. Because I don't want to sort of overdo it to start with. But I've kind of been out of it for... Well, I mean, it's only 10 days. It's not a long time, you know. Not a long time, but I don't think I could do all the gym things at the moment. So tomorrow I'll go and do a swim and see how I do with that. Thank you, Nick. He's got a cold omelette. Oh, it's you, is it, Nick? Oh my God, it's Nick the chef. Nick the chip. It's Nick the chef at the pub. Hello, Nick. He's got a cold omelette to warm up for you on Saturday. Let me tell you, Nick does the cooking at the pub. I had no idea that was you watching this evening. So hello to you, sir. Yeah, I wasn't very well Friday and Saturday. I was like, I had no energy. I'm like, oh, like that. It's like that. Oh, I don't want to do anything. And rather unusually for me, I didn't even want to get out of bed when I woke up. It's a funny thing, isn't it? Sleep, really. You have trouble sleeping, particularly when you're ill sometimes. And you want to sleep and you can't. But when it comes to... then you do get woken up by an alarm, don't you? You know, even when you can't sleep. So you must have been asleep at some point, yeah? And then the alarm goes off and then you don't want to get out of bed. How weird is that? He said, I made it last Saturday for you, but you didn't come. Poor Chris weren't ill, Nick. Sorry, Nick. I hope you didn't give it to anyone. I'd rather you thrown it away than give it to anyone else, dear. Hello to you, Nick. He does lovely cooking. I think Vera particularly enjoys your halloumi fries. She likes those very much. Fran was saying a fuddle, and I didn't know what a fuddle. She says a fuddle of savoury, then cake pops, buns, and cake and cup. Oh, I do like a nice pair of buns, don't you, Fran Green? Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, you know, he's quite nice. I wasn't over impressed. I mean, he was a nice bloke, don't get me wrong, but the bloke who done my solar panels today, crawling over the roof. And what amazed me is there was no scaffolding or anything. I told you at the beginning of the programme. He was on his own. He didn't have a partner. He was on his own. And a decent ladder, don't get me wrong, a very substantial ladder, but no scaffolding. He literally carried these things up and sat on the roof, drilling things, and a bit of grinding noise going on up there as well. I wonder what he was doing at one point, dear. You know. So that place Nicholas was saying is Aldberg. Is it Oldberg? Is that how you say it? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Incorrect pronunciation. I've been told off now. There we are. Nick says, I only throw away overdone halloumi sticks. Yeah, always throw those away. Don't serve them up, Nick, whatever you do, my love, all right? Aldbur is how it's said. Thank you, Nick. You see, that's why you're on the BBC and I'm not, because I can't talk proper, innit? I did spend my very young years being brought up in Peckham, and I think that's the problem, to be honest, Nick. Peckham, 1963 to 1969. Yeah, I mean, it was that long ago that even Sainsbury's wasn't self-service then. You know, Vera says she used to listen to Capital Radio and pirate radio stations back in the day. She doesn't listen to radio station at all now, apart from Reach on Air. She wants to know how many of you still use a real radio. I've got a couple of lovely real radios. Roberts, really good sound. I think they've got FM and DAB, and I think they've also got. I'm sure one of them's got internet radio on it as well. What's the time? Oh, I haven't got time to go and get it now. Otherwise, I'll look for you. And you can type in. It's got internet radio as well on it, and you type in the radio station. Actually, do you know I might get that out of the cupboard? Look, what's the time? 6 minutes. How long have we got? Hang on a minute. Let me just go and have a look. You need to make a bit of noise, actually, because otherwise the silence detector will kick me off. I'll sing for you. What do you want me to sing? Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, that lamb was sure to go. Hang on, let me just check we ain't been cut off. No, that's all right. That's picked me up all right. So I've got this old Roberts radio. I think I've got two Roberts radios, actually. I've got one here, and I think I've got one at the Caravan, the Luxury Waterside Media Centre. It's a Roberts radio. No, I don't think this isn't an internet one. I think this is just a normal one. It's such a lovely sound. FM, RDS, DAB, digital portable radio. Not heavy. This must have batteries in it. I bet they've gone. I bet the batteries have gone off, actually. Oh no, which would be a. Oh no, they haven't. There's a Toys R Us batteries. That's how old this is. Look. Oh my God, blimey! It's got Toys R Us batteries in it. But it's not an internet radio, unfortunately. So that's not the one I thought. I think the other one's up at the Caravan. Anyway, boys and girls, it's time for me to go. Thanks ever so much for joining in this evening, my darlings. Okay, and I'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock here at Reach On Air. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning here at Reach On Air, right? I shall leave you with this excellent tune from...
City has a special morning voice. Speaks to me through an open window, masquerading as noise. 10 million people waking up, and somehow I'm the lucky guy who gets to make you a coffee cup. And if I ever forget what matters most, if I am giving up the ghost, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. And if I stumble and fall, if I make a mess of it all, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. This city can be hard and unforgiving. You better know who you are. You brought me back to the living. You were my guiding star. And if I ever forget what matters most, if I am giving up the ghost, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. And if I stop
all done tonight, boys and girls. The radio have now gone, and it's just us, just you and me tonight. Let me just read out some of these messages I didn't get to. Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, Mark's dad used to fix radios. I don't know if you can see. I've taken all the batteries out there now. Quite frankly, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised these haven't leaked, but they haven't. What's the best before date? Bloody hell, 2019. October 2019, and they haven't leaked. So that's lucky. And yeah, I mean, this is a really good sounding radio, the old Roberts. But it's not an internet radio, this one. This is just DAB and FM, this one. But I've got a similar one up at the caravan, which is also an internet radio. And I think you type in the URL of the station in this little thing. It's like little buttons, A, B, blah, 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 blah. You type them in there, and then you can use it as an alarm clock, which is quite a good thing, isn't it, really? Anyone else got one of those at all? Hello, Deb. Thank you, Deb. Vera's still there as well. That's it, Vera. Well, disappear in a minute. I'd just like to finish off your messages, which we have to leave the radio at time. It can't wait. You know, it's all automatic, so you get cut off at 11. So I like to say goodbye. Who's left with us there? Let's have a look. Gary is going to have his dominoes with his dominoes, dear. What, you won the lottery, mate? Jesus, dominoes! God, some people have got more money than sense. There's me quite happy going over to Co-op and having a £5 pizza, thank you very much. And that was dear. Blimey. Is that it then? Everyone's disappearing? Yeah, I think we're all going now. All right, I'm going to go now as well then. Thanks ever so much, and I'll see you for another show tomorrow night. 9 o'clock is showtime here on YouTube tomorrow night, okay? And, of course, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for the radio show. Thank you. Ta-da.